Good afternoon, here we are with the men's UCI World Cup here from Koksijde. Everyone's up there on the bank. The rain has abated now, so it's starting to, it's not warming up, but it's a lot nicer than it was 10 minutes ago. The freaks are out, the mayonnaise is out, everyone's enjoying the atmosphere. 3 kilometers this course is categorized, of course, by the sand of the dunes here in Koksijde. The pits, they loop through 2 occasions as they make their way back around to finish on the tarmac at the end of the 3 kilometers around this course. Big crowd here as usual, still 4 degrees. The wind has not picked up at all. It's cloudy, but it's looking a little bit brighter than it was when we finished the women's race. That storm has gone through at the right time. Here's the World Cup standings then. Wout van Aert is on 150 points. Lars van der Haar in second place with 140. Sven Nys is 135. And Michael van Turenhout in 4th place, and Kevin Pauwels in 5th place, the winner of the World Cup last season. Here's our start list then. 56 riders taking to the start line, with 17 different nations represented in today's race. Kevin Pauwels wearing number 11 as the winner of the World Cup last year. Good Swiss team here, led by Julien Taaramakats. And as you can see, all the different nations. There's Philip Valsleben wearing number 36, always a rider who figures in the action, has been on the podium here in this race previously. Ian Field of Great Britain, Gary Milburn of Australia. I'm told he's on some good form right now, having come out of the season in Australia, and the final part of the field made up by the riders from the Czech Republic. There's our previous winners then. Sven Nys has been the most dominant rider in the Koksijde World Cup. He first won in 1999, 6 times the winner of this race. There he is wearing number 14. I saw him just before the start. He was spending a lot of time getting the course absolutely nailed. As we've had the discussion in the women's race, he is riding on the disc brakes now, choosing to switch. There is Laurens Swiek alongside Wout van Aert in the white colours as the leader of the UCI World Cup. Wearing number 13 there, Tom Meusen. Alongside number 11, Kevin Pauwels in the Sunweb kit. Alongside him is the new European champion, Lars van der Haar, wearing number 2. Alongside him, he is back, the world champion, having recovered here from that knee surgery that he's just had, Mathieu van der Poel. And Philip Valsleben wearing number 36 on the last line of the grid there on the far right-hand side. Big day for the world champion as he returns to competition. Can he produce a performance here? I'd be very surprised if he can finish as the winner of this race, but you just never know with Mathieu van der Poel. The cavalry charge about to get underway. And we're underway now. The sprint off the line. Sven Nys, you'll notice there on the left, wearing leg warmers. A few riders choosing not to. Lars van der Haar really powering away, but it's Wout van Aert who, as they screech past me underneath the commentary box, who goes first round that right-hand turn. The youngsters really do open up the gas very, very early off that start line. They've got such strong starts, and it puts the older riders in some trouble. So Wout van Aert, the rider in the white, as the leader of the UCI World Cup. Behind him is Corin van Kessel. Corne van Kessel in the colours of Telenet Fadea there on the left, as the next rider going through to the front to take over the lead. Riders already having a few problems being able to see where they're going. Corne van Kessel wearing number 3. Mathieu van der Poel wears number 1. Behind him, Lars van der Haar. And the acceleration happening as they power their way up over that climb. Sven Nys has had a good start wearing number 14 on that luminous yellow bike. Looked very, very good indeed yesterday when he won in Hasselt. First major big win for a long time. I noticed before the start, he was adjusting his saddle all the time, switching bikes. And on the front of the race then, number 12, Laurens Sweeck, riding for the Era Real Estate Murprotec team. Sweeck followed by Wout van Aert. Corne van Kessel goes to the right-hand side, chooses a different line. Mathieu van der Poel up near the front. A good start by the world champion. Take a look at the bike he's riding. He used to ride a bike with a camouflage finish on it, and he's had a special bike done with the colours of the rainbow bands as a camouflage pattern, which also matches the aero hat he wears and matches the rainbow bands around the middle as well. Mathieu van der Poel, talked to him before the start. 1.2 bar in the front of the bike, 1.3 bar in the back wheel. Riding on Dugas tubulars. He's riding, bit of a problem there. Little crash for number 19, that was Tim Merlier. And Mathieu van der Poel, he said he's going to see today about the knee, how it's going to hold up. He had a little bit of knee surgery. He's been out, but he's looking like he's got no problems whatsoever as he sets the tempo for everyone else to follow. Here's that little problem for Tim Merlier as he flicked over. He also held up Thies van Amerongen. But the world champion is already opening up an advantage. Look how good he looks. The descent was incredible down there. Little slip, doesn't want to be banging that knee too much. He's chosen to ride a normal tread pattern on this bike. He went round the course with different tyres on. I caught him after he'd done a lap or so, and he said he was riding the normal file tread tyres. He decided it was too slippery for anything else, and he had 1.3, 1.2 on the bike as he goes way ahead of everyone else who is having to run up this rise. He's opening up a big gap already. Laurens Sweeck behind him, Wout van Aert. Behind him is Corne van Kessel, as they just see Mathieu van der Poel disappearing around that right-hander. Well, he wasn't going to wait and come back at the wrong time. He was going to wait until that knee was absolutely right. Considering this young rider had surgery such a short time ago, he is looking very, very good. Maybe a little bit steadier on the running section and having to be a little bit careful with that knee. And Van Aert comes back to him now and attacks him over the top. They're going to test him a lot today. Another problem for Jens Adams that time, of the Golden Palace squad. And Mathieu van der Poel trying to match now Van Aert. Laurens Sweeck taking the shades off already. He was having problems seeing through the first corner. So he's already taken them off. Koen van Kessel, Lars van der Haar in the blue as the European champion. Well, Van Aert looking comfortable. And now the acceleration happening behind them. It is Michael van Turenhout. Tormusen goes through the picture. Sunglasses going everywhere. And there is Sven Nys. He's not going to panic. He had a fantastic win yesterday. First win, big win for a long time for Sven Nys, and he will let all the youngsters go out and accelerate and attack each other, and then he'll just use his power and his expertise to try and come back at them. Lars van der Haar now making a charge up the right-hand side. Onto the climb there was Tormusen in the black colours of Telenet Fadea, and on the front still goes the world champion as Mathieu van der Poel slides his way through the sand. He's such a good rider in the sand, and he's obviously picked the right tyres because he is making short work of that run through that section as he goes down through the crater and turns left. A problem there for, I think, Van Turenhout, who had a little bit of a crash over the top of the right-hand turn there. And Sven Nys still looking strong as he descends well. Here was that problem for number 11, and that is Kevin Pauwels, holding up a little bit of traffic. Mathieu van der Poel. The design on this bike, when you see it close up, it looks absolutely stunning, particularly when it's shiny and clean. I suppose it's appropriate we're on a military base today with that camouflage design on the bike. Just looking, it looks like it might start to rain again. But considering the surgery this young rider's had, look at the power he's got as we go past the Kevin Pauwels fan club on the right-hand side of the track. To the end of the first lap then, and it is a little group of riders with Van Aert, Lars van der Haar, Laurens Sweeck, Koen van Kessel, Mathieu van der Poel as they go across the line. That's a very fast lap. 8:04 from the grid, 7:50 was the lap time. 7:49.8 to be about exact in that first lap. Laurens Sweeck then on the front of the race. Lars van der Haar has been on great form so far. He won in Valkenburg. Van Aert was second. Sven Nys was in third place. In the first round at Cross Vegas, I was sorry not to get there. That was a great race. Van Aert won, Nys in second, Van Turenhout in third place. But Van der Haar has had an interesting build-up to this season. He chose to ride a lot of road races with the Giant Alpecin team. I saw him ride a few different races, commentated on him in the Arctic race, just trying to build up his strength and his power so that the longer the race goes on, the better Lars van der Haar will get now with those long road races in the legs. 5 riders with a little bit of a gap. Behind them, 2 more riders coming across. And Sven Nys is getting close now to the front of this UCI World Cup. With that stunningly coloured Trek bike, you can't miss it. It stands out for a mile around this course. Let's run through some placings for you then at the end of lap number 1. Laurens Sweeck was the leader across the line. Wout van Aert in second, Mathieu van der Poel in third, Lars van der Haar in fourth, Koen van Kessel in 5th place. The first Swiss rider, Julian Tauramarkat, in 12th place. Just looking through other riders, those of you who messaged me in on Twitter, Just to give you an update on Ian Field of Great Britain, 28th place right now, 41 seconds down at the end of that lap. Philip Volsleben a long way down in 32nd place, which is a surprise for him. Gary Milburn of Australia in 45th place. Robert Marion of the United States of America in 54th place right now. Glenn Kenning in 55th place for Ireland. Michael Vandenham, 47th place for Canada. So there's the run through of a few of the places for you right now. Different nationalities, of course, being represented. 17 different nations being represented in today's field. Met Van der Poel en uiteraard rekening houden dat wij straks nog hier proberen met de top van de wedstrijd contact op te nemen. Maar vooraan een nieuwe situatie. Lars van der Garen, een man die zit dit seizoen toch de schitterende titels wist te veroveren van Europees kampioen en uiteraard de wereldbeker. Well, very fast on that descent then by these riders. Just an update for Canadian fans. Mark McConnell is 39th. Cameron Jetta is in 40th place. Danish fans, Kenneth Hansen is in 41st place right now. Just some updates for you at the end of the first lap of racing. Thank you to all of you who have joined me on Twitter at @McCrossan. If you would like to know anything, find out any bits of information, do message me in and we'll try and answer some of your questions during the race as Lars van der Haar goes to the front, splashes through the puddles. Cheered on, I'm sure, by Lucy Garner. He rides for Giant Alpecin. Lucy Garner will be riding next year for her new team, the Wiggle Honda team. I'm sure enjoying a good winter of training right now as Lars van der Haar goes up this rise with Van der Poel, the bike on his shoulder in second with the rainbow band colours all over the bike and the helmet. Wearing those blue shoes with the little rainbow colours on them. Pretty much the same actually as Pauline Ferrand-Prévot's shoes. She has a similar design of shoe onto the bridge. And Van der Haar and Van der Poel are going shoulder to shoulder. Behind them, Wout van Aert, Laurens Sweeck. Just behind Laurens Sweeck, Koen van Kessel. And it looks like behind him, Tom Meusen is coming across to him as well. Kevin Powles. And it's really starting to cut up now, isn't it? You see these riders having to use every single bit of the body just to right the bike. Laurens Sweeck makes a mistake and has to jump off. We now have a trio in the lead. Mathieu van der Poel, Lars van der Haar, and in third place going through there to get a bike change is Lars van der Haar. Wout van Aert has made the front. Van der Haar onto a nice clean machine, and he'll now try and accelerate. Sven Nys looks so confident and so easy right now. Look at the way he's pedaling. He's letting the youngsters play their games. The old master of cyclo-cross is working his way through the field and ominously is now in 5th place on this Koksijde course. This race isn't over yet, and a problem there for Van Aert. Lars van der Haar has to be held up a little bit. Koen van Kessel, behind Van Kessel is Sven Nys. Van der Poel now goes on the attack. These tyres, the choice he's made is proving to be an absolute saver. When he gets to that section of the course, he's opening up seconds and putting all his rivals into a few problems as they go along that section. He's putting every single rider on the ropes through that sandy riding bit. Christian Smith, thanks for your question. How is Ian Field doing for Great Britain? 28th place right now at the end of the first lap. I was talking to Ian before the start. He looked like he was looking out for a good ride today, wanted to do well. Jack Clarkson is in 48th place right now. The American fans, Robert Marion, 54th. You can see now the rain is starting to fall again out on one section of this course. So, if you're just joining us, Mathieu van der Poel is the leader. Wout van Aert in second, behind him Lars van der Haar. As we come round now to complete our second lap. Mathieu van der Poel, 6 laps to go. And at the end of this lap, they cross the line. And that's a very fast lap again, 7:50.4 compared to 7:49.8. The gap then to Van der Haar, 9 seconds only. So it looks like a 7-lap race this time. 6 laps of racing to go. And Wout van Aert is tracking Van der Poel very well. Lars van der Haar dropping behind a little bit now. I'm surprised about that. But he's just using the wheel of Sven Nys to come back onto this little pathway section, and you turn up onto this rise. Van der Poel showing no signs of a problem with that knee. Sven Nys, though, is ominously making his way to the front of this cyclocross race as we go down this little drop-off now, and we pick up with Van der Poel, Van Aert and Sven Nys about to make contact with the 2 young riders.
Voorlopig geen maat op de geeschappij van de beide jonge talenten, respectievelijk in Nederland en het...
Wout van Aert trying to accelerate a little bit. He does not want Sven Nys to race across to the leaders, but that's about to happen. He just looks like he's got the measure of this course today. He spent so long today warming up. I watched him. He was still out as the women were coming to the start grid. And he is almost on the wheel now of Van der Poel. The crowd are loving this. Sven Nys, can he win here in Koksijde? Wout van Aert on the front then. He is trying to open up the little bit of a gap. Van der Poel second, Sven Nys in third, Lars van der Haar in fourth. Behind Van der Haar, Tom Meusen just trying to see. They can't wear the glasses, there's so much mud. But these eyes are hurting. Laurens Sweeck there in the blue and white. Behind him is Julian Taramarkat of Switzerland. As Wout van Aert tries to accelerate, there is Kevin Pauwels, the winner of the World Cup last year. As you can hear, the crowd are going absolutely wild now. They're enjoying seeing these riders racing around this course. There were so many times that we thought this might not happen today, and we really have to say thank you to the work of the organisers and the police and the army in this area to enable this race to go on. The fans have also been very considered and very calm in having to go through Every single person who's come in here has had to go through checks. Oh, Lars van der Haar crashes. Slides off on that corner. He was having a very, very good run of things. Just caught the back wheel then. A little bit of a slide. As Van Aert now, the World Cup leader, goes downhill, being chased by Sven Nys in second place. Wout van Aert, who was the winner in Cross Vegas. He was second in Valkenburg. The most consistent rider in the World Cup so far. But look at this, the crowd as he goes past his fan club on the left-hand side. The cannibal from Baal trying to get back now to the front. If he hits the front of this race, everyone is going to go completely wild in Koksijde. He first won this race in 1999, where he beat Bart Vellens and Adrie van der Poel. Right now, Adrie's son Mathieu is just behind Sven Nys in the World Champions colours, but as we go out of the pits, Wout van Aert is going to be on the wheel of Sven Nys. Just think about this, the first time that Sven Nys won this Koksijde World Cup, the rider who's on his wheel right now was only 5 years of age. In fact, Mathieu van der Poel was only 4. On to the run-up now. And Sven Nys onto the bike. He seems like last year was a bad year for him in all sorts of ways, personally and on his form on the bike. But he just looks like he's gone away. He's got strong, he looks fit, he looks ready. As Wout van Aert tries to stay with him, and Van der Poel, now that early success is starting to hurt a little bit more. He's making a few errors. It's probably to be expected, considering how much time it's taken to get that knee back and sorted out. Sven Nys last won the World Cup in 2008. 6 times he's won the World Cup, but 2008, after that was Stibar, Niels Albert, Kevin Pauwels, Niels Albert again, Van der Haar, and Kevin Pauwels. Just looking behind what's going on, Sven Nys coming round with Wout van Aert to complete the next lap. This will be lap number 3 completed. 5 laps of racing left to go. Sven Nys using that aero helmet. Will save a few little watts here and there. And Wout van Aert goes through in a fast lap of 7:46.3, the fastest lap of the racer so far. Sven Nys tucked in on the wheel. But just to give you an idea, Sven Nys's lap time, that lap was 7:38. He took 8 seconds out of Wout van Aert in 7:46. That's how fast he did lap number 3 of this Koksijde World Cup. Wout van Aert then at the front of the race as he tries to open up a gap on Sven Nys, try and make him make a mistake if he possibly can. There's a few of you on Twitter enjoying seeing the elder statesmen of world cyclocross going head-to-head with the youngsters here. Loomis, thank you very much for your message. Lomas about Aaron Schooler. Aaron not riding in this race. The Canadian team is Michael Vandenham, Mark McConnell and Cameron Jetta. That's the Canadian squad for today's race. Right, the front of the race then. If you're just joining us for this UCI World Cup here in Koksijde, it's Wout van Aert leading Sven Nys. Behind them, Lars van der Haar, Korn van Kessel, Taramalkat and Van der Poel. Fans of the Czech Republic, Michael Boros is in 14th place right now. In terms of other nationalities, we'll have a little look. The first British rider is Ian Field in 28th place. Philipp Walsleben, surprisingly, the German rider, a long way back right now. Marcel Wildhaber of Switzerland is 32nd. First Danish rider, Kenneth Hansen, 42nd. Mark McConnell of Canada is in 41st place. Jack Clarkson of Great Britain, 43rd. Robert Marion of the United States in 54th. Glenn Kenning in 55th place for Ireland. Wout van Aert then looks to be riding a nice consistent race, absolutely covered in mud in that white UCI leaders jersey. Mathieu van der Poel is having to just ratchet back a little bit here, seeing if he can recover the mud in these riders' eyes. Just saw Klaas van Turnhout having to wipe his eyes there. The crowd going wild as they make their way through this little section. Sven Nys looks like he is just going to sit there. He's going to wait. He's going to see whether Wout van Aert makes a mistake. Lars van der Haar has dropped back a little bit. Sven Nys started well. He didn't have one of those slow starts. He had a nice start, and then he just made his way through to the leaders when he was ready. Everything is under control. You're right, Henry. He's supposed to be retiring at the end of this season, but these legs look as strong as ever. But sometimes riders get like that, don't they? Where they feel they're going to retire, and yet they are right up there and really happy to be involved in the action. They're giving their all towards the end of their last season as he now attacks the youngster over the top of the bridge. I'm just going to let you enjoy the noise. When he gets down to that little corner, all his fan club are down there, and they are just going completely crazy. Daniel Hennessy, yeah, this is now the European jersey is worn in World Cups. In fact, Helen Wyman's always worn her jersey when she was a European cyclo-cross champion, but now everyone is wearing them properly. It is becoming a jersey to wear. Listen to this. Sven Nys goes into the pits. Wout van Aert on the other side goes out on the course. A nice clean bike for Sven Nys now. It's kind of silent at little times, and then you get these big walls of noise as Van der Haar accelerates through there, shakes his head, not happy with the bike change that time. Sometimes Lars van der Haar, when he gets under pressure, he starts to make a few little mistakes and he gets annoyed with a few things here or there. So Wout van Aert's making his way across the top here. He won in Vegas so far this season. He's also had wins in Gieten and Zonhoven and Gavert. Second in the European Championship cyclocross to Lars van der Haar. And of course, last year was the under-23 World Cyclocross Champion. So last season, remember, Van Aert and Mathieu van der Poel chose to ride the Elite World Championships this season, or this year. The year before, he was the World Under-23 Champion. Comes from Belgium, a real talented bike rider. Rides for the Golden Palace team. Has all his merchandise just around about the camper van when you go round to have a look. But Sven Nys has the biggest setup. He has a huge truck. He has his merchandise alongside it. He's a very popular bike rider here in Belgium. Van der Haar then, trying to pick his way through the mud. And Wout van Aert looks around, and he's not got rid of Sven Nys yet. And is he going to? He's so experienced. 4 laps of racing to go. That's our leading duo. 7:47.1 was that lap time of Wout van Aert. Sven Nys in second place. Same lap time that time. His fastest lap, 7:38 so far. And in third place then, here's the group, and it is Kevin Pauwels who leads. Lars van der Haar, Tom Meus and Laurens Sweeck. Julian Tauramarkat, Michael van Turenhout, Corne van Kessel, Toenaerts. Mathieu van der Poel now drops down to 11th. Klaas van Toornut is in 12th place. What an absolute pleasure to get a tweet from Keith Bontrager. Thank you so much for watching. You're absolutely right, Sven Nys is warming up. Doesn't he look good today? You can join me on Twitter @AntMcCrossan if you would like to message in, get involved in the conversation going on. Going downhill. There's Laurens Sweeck. He was one of the early leaders of this race, but he's dropping away now. So interesting to look at the mechanical setups of these riders. Wout van Aert riding the cantilever brakes. Sven Nys last year said he preferred the feeling of the cantilever brakes compared to the disc brakes, but now he's on the disc brakes as he jumps his way, just letting the bike slide left and right. He looks so happy on this Trek bike now. Shifted all his equipment last season. Now he's on this bike he got and helped design. A little bit of a mistake there as Wout van Aert starts to put him under a little bit of pressure. He looks up as Van Aert puts the bike on the shoulder. And Sven now is the youngster starting to look a little bit more comfortable as we see Jack Carlson go down the other side of the course for Great Britain, and Van Aert's starting to turn the screw a little bit. Sven Nys is having to just compose himself, bring the heart rate into the right place here. He doesn't want to go right into the red zone too early. He knows the youngster's got this little kick, the acceleration that can put him in trouble. And now look at Sven in a little bit of a bigger gear as he hunts down the rider in the UCI World Cup Leaders jersey, and that little acceleration put him in trouble. So Van Aert will know that's a little section of the course where I could try and get rid of him. Just to run through some other placings for you while we watch Van Aert and Sven Nys go along this little section, and Nys is coming back very fast. But Van Aert looking to kick on. This is going to be a really quick lap as they make their way through the tree. Still a little bit of an advantage for Van Aert as he tries to get rid of Nys. And he goes down that drop-off through the sand, round the left-hander. And still he's trying hard. This is his moment of acceleration. He wants to get rid of him if he can. And he knows if he keeps giving these real hard kicks that it's going to hit the 39-year-old Belgian rider. Other riders then. Tara Malkets of Switzerland is into 7th place. Van Kessel in 9th for the Netherlands. Kevin Pauwels has moved up into 3rd place, the winner previously of the World Cup. Michael Boros of the Czech Republic is in 16th place. Ian Field in 29th place for Great Britain. And other riders, Michael Vandenham of Canada is in 40th. Mark McConnell in 42nd place. Lars van der Haar in 4th place right now. He needs to come back a little bit if he can. He doesn't look to be right on his top form today. Well, if you're just joining us now, you are going to be treated to an intriguing race because it's the youngster, Wout van Aert, who leads with Sven Nys, the oldest rider, in the field in 2nd place, having won yesterday in Hasselt. He is on the top of his game. His morale is sky high. If he wins 2 races this weekend, he's just going to be going into this week's training with everything absolutely nailed. The sun's even coming out on these riders. If you saw the end of the women's race, it was absolutely horrible. Pouring with rain, hailstones, freezing cold. It was 4 degrees centigrade. Now it's starting to warm up. Kevin Pauwels looks to be now getting himself a bit composed. He finished 2nd here last year. Wout van Aert was the winner. Kevin Pauwels has previously been 2nd in 2011 as well. He started really slowly here, but he is starting to come back. Tom Meusen behind him, Lars van der Haar in the blue. Don't get confused with the colours of van der Haar. He's now in the European Champions colours as compared to his normal giant Alpecin colours that we see him in. Starting to lap some riders now. Just got asked if Jeremy Powers is racing today. He's not racing in this round of the World Cup. I hope we'll see him. Hope we'll see him racing again soon. Wout van Aert is testing Sven Nys all the time. He's trying to make him crack a little bit here if he can. The speed they're going round through these sand dunes is incredible. The top riders then, at the end of that lap, were Wout van Aert, the leader, Sven Nys, Kevin Pauwels, Lars van der Haar, Tom Meusen, Laurens Sweeck, Julian Tara Malkets, Michael van Turenhout, Corne van Kessel, Tournettes, Mathieu van der Poel now in 11th. This is one of those days where strength and resilience and technique all come into play. Clouds starting to build again in the background. It's pretty ominous. It's absolutely black over to my right-hand side. A little bit of a window of blue sky and sunshine. Are we going to finish before it pours with rain again? Proper cyclocross racing, isn't it? As we come round with 3 laps of racing to go. Van Aert looks across to the right. Sven Nys also does. He's using that face, just saying to his young breakaway companion, I'm a little bit tired here, using every little bit of kidsing that he possibly can. 7:41 that lap that time. Another fast lap. Indeed, it is the 2nd fastest lap of the race so far. Steve, you're right. Looks like Sven Nys has committed fully to the disc brakes. Keith Bontrager might be able to shed some light on that for us. Keith, thank you very much for your tweets earlier. As we see Laurens Sweeck turn the corner. Sven Nys choosing today to wear the leg warmers just to keep the muscles nice and warm. Helen Wyman, I was mentioning earlier, was warming up in actually electric battery-powered warm-up trousers that keep legs nice and warm right before the start. She said that you can lose watts by being too cold just before the start of a race, so it really helps. A little bit, I guess, to the technique used by Great Britain in the track centre around about the Olympic Games. You're absolutely right, cyclocross rider. Kevin Powell's right down in 18th place after the first 15 minutes, and now he's starting to come back towards the front of this race. It is a very, very good performance. What's happened now? Sven Nys has attacked Wout van Aert. I don't know if Van Aert's got a problem here because he looked down at the back wheel. Has he got it? He's got a rear wheel puncture. Wout van Aert's punctured rear wheel. He just maybe at the right time, he goes into the pits, gets a bike, nice clean bike for Van Aert, but terrible time to puncture. And now Sven Nys is going to go clear. He's not going to make a mistake. Look at Van Aert as he tries to hunt him down. This is cyclocross, this isn't road racing. You can take advantage of everything you possibly can. There will be no etiquette, there will be no waiting. Sven Nys looks around to see where Wout van Aert is. The youngster from the Vascot Service Golden Palace Continental team. Kevin Powell shouldering the bike again, just trudging his way through this sandy area. The gap has opened up. And now Sven Nys is concentrating hard. He will now do everything he can not to let Wout van Aert come back to him. The 21-year-old against the 39-year-old rider from this course's point of view. You would expect this man to get stronger as this race goes on. Look at the speed as he goes through this little track section. Back here to Kevin Powell's. Not quite on his top form yet. As Sven Nys goes down that bomb hole. Behind him, Wout van Aert, is he cracking or is he going to come back? Oh, big mistake there as he took the right foot right out, went right out behind him. He's giving it everything he can as Nys now goes over this sprinting little hill. Can Van Aert make a few seconds back? Can he make his way over the top of it? He manages to do that, so little second taken back on Sven Nys. Still the gap is there as they make their way back out through this little muddy and wet section. He's right by the side of the barriers here. Van Aert trying hard to come back to him. So the puncture, well, it was in the best place it could have been. It wasn't too far from the pits, so he was able to get a good wheel change. Sven Nys makes a little mistake as he goes up there, and suddenly Van Aert is coming back to him. So he hasn't taken full advantage of the problem of Van Aert. Just a few seconds as Van Aert kicks the bike left and right. And Sven Nys goes over the bridge, plunges down the other side. Now he's onto some good terrain so he can put the throttle in. He'll ride a bigger gear through here. Listen to this. The advantage for Sven Nys. They call him the Cannonball from Bâle. 39 years of age. He said he's going to retire. But you just get that sense that there's so much that he can still do on a cyclocross bike. Van Aert is getting close here. The fans are enjoying this one. He won Grand Prix Van Asselt yesterday. Can he back it up with another win today? There aren't many. Oh, Kevin Powell's almost hitting the fencing on the right-hand side. A little bit of information being given by the pits to Sven Nys. Off the bike, onto the running section. He'll get back on it as soon as he can. The technique is perfect. And Van Aert, oh, mistake there by Van Aert. He's right on his limit right now to come back to this rider. He's getting close, but he's not closing the gap. And where possible, Sven Nys is using every single little bit of help he can get. He uses the barriers that time, goes kicking his way downhill. Van Aert also using the barriers too. Well, Sven Nys has won the World Championships on 2 occasions. The last time, of course, in 2013. We all know that he'd like to retire with another world title. And right now, he is putting every single cyclocross rider in the world, bar maybe Stibar, right on the ropes. Thank you to all of you for your messages. At @McCrossan is where you can message me today. An update on Mathieu van der Poel. He's now in 7th place on the course. He had that early lead, but I think the knee and the surgery at some point was going to pay, and it has paid now. Onto the tarmac, and Wout van Aert has not given up. 2 laps of racing to go. The camera shortens the gap a little bit, but it's only a few seconds between these 2 riders as they go across the line after 46 minutes. And Sven Nys that time, a 7:47, but only 2 seconds separate these riders. Oh, a problem here. And I'm not sure who that is down on the deck. A very heavy fall. I'm not sure if that's Kevin Powell's. I'm just trying to see. He's shrouded there by the ambulance crew looking after whoever it is down on the deck. No, it isn't Kevin Powell, so one of the other riders is other side of the course. Must have been a heavy crash, that one. Normally these riders just get straight back up. The race situation then, you can see Mathieu van der Poel making his way up to complete this lap. It is the tussle at the front between Sven Nys with Wout van Aert in 2nd place. Kevin Powell is now 41 seconds down in 3rd. Laurens Sweeck in 4th, 49 seconds down. 5th place is Tom Meusen in 50 seconds down in 5th. Mathieu van der Poel now consolidated his position in 6th place. Lars van der Haar is in 7th. Corne van Kessel in 8th. Toonets in 9th. Julian Taramarkats in 10th place as things stand. That must have been a pretty hefty crash. Because he's taken a long time, Michael van Toornen, out to get up. He was riding 12th. But he's in that area where you've got the wooden poles along the side of the track. Now, Wout van Aert has come back, so he must be thinking of an attack at some point to try and get rid of Sven Nys. He doesn't want to take him to the finish line if he can. Charles Porcel, if I see Sven after this race, I'll tell him not to retire. This is impressive. Those of you who are sitting at home, I know loads of you sit on the turbo in the wet conditions of the European winter and just enjoy the racing. Well, this one is one of the good ones. Kevin Powell, Laurens Sweeck, Tom Meusen going for 3rd place to try and get themselves on the podium. Benedict Plowman, you're right. All the older riders wearing arm and leg warmers. They know what's right. They know how to keep themselves warm. It's absolutely freezing out here. Believe me, it's horrible. As Sven Nys now, you can see if you look carefully just how cold it is. The breath you can see as these riders go on the attack. They're covered in cold, icy mud right now as Sven Nys tests his young pretender yet again. Wout van Aert, born on the 15th of September 1994. Sven Nys, born on the 17th of June 1976, as he puts in another massive attack. Big attack down that descent again. Sven Nys is trying hard here to make Wout van Aert make a mistake, and he knows that he's on his limit. He'll have been listening to the sound of his breathing, and he knows that he's had to come back to Sven, who's been able to calm down a little bit. His lap times, just so you know, his fastest lap time was lap number 3, a 7:38, which brought him to the front of the race. But then he went a 7:41, a 7:47, and I think now we're going to see another fast lap as we head up towards 1 lap to go at the end of this one. He has a little gap. Just to update you on other riders, the first Swiss rider, 10th place, Julian Tara-Markatz. Ian Field now has moved up to 25th place for Great Britain, ahead of Valsleben in 26th. And other riders, just to update you, the Canadian rider Mark McConnell in 42nd. Well, the luminous Trek bike glowing its way through the sand as Lars van der Haar tries to get on the wheel. Michael Van Turenhout looking like he is struggling a little. They're just trying to put one of the silver towels around him to warm him up. And Van Aert has now fought his way back to the wheel of Sven Nys. Just letting the bike slide left and right where he has to. And look at this. Van Aert makes another little bit of a mistake. And Sven Nys looks around and he's going to try and capitalise on that one again. Here goes the acceleration. He heard him take the foot out of the pedals. And now he's going to make the move. This is another possibility of trying to get rid of the youngster, and he's now getting rid of him. Wout van Aert had that rear wheel puncture. He fought his way back to the front. Now he makes a little error, only a tiny error, but you just see that right now Sven Nys is so in the game, so focused. He's hearing everything. He can test immediately. The pit crew working back and forward all the time, giving him all the information he needs as he goes up this rise. And Van Aert trying to fight his way yet again to the rear wheel of Sven Nys. Is he going to get back there? Nys looks around to see where he is. He gets back on the bike immediately. Impossible now to ride that little section. No Jonathan Page today. Steve, just to answer your tweet. Thanks for your tweet at @McCrossan. If you would like to join me on Twitter. Oscar, I think we are heading towards Sven Nys, Kevin Powell's style sprint from 2011, where Sven Nys beat Kevin Powell's. This time it's going to be Sven Nys against Van Aert for the run into the finish line. Who's going to take it? Still lovely, poised. There's the possibility of a final sprint along that tarmac. Mathieu van der Poel picking off riders now. He'll just want a nice finish here. Oh, a problem there by Tom Meusen. Kevin Powell's dropping back a little as they make their way through this muddy section. Van Aert, the shoulders are rocking and rolling more than Sven Nys, who looks like he's done an awful lot of work in the gym during the winter. To me, he looks so strong. Sean Christensen, hello to you on Twitter. Keep it going. He's on the turbo trainer. Now we get towards the end of this lap. We are going to get the bell with 1 lap of racing to go. Who is going to win this one? 55 minutes of racing covered, and it's Wout van Aert against Sven Nys. The rain's falling again. It's horrible. It's cyclo-cross. It's muddy. It's cold, and that's what this race is all about. That lap time for those two riders, 8 minutes was the lap time, 8:03 for Sven Nys. The slowest lap of the race so far. Mistake by Sven Nys round that corner. Wout van Aert trying to go clear now. Can hardly see through the grit and grime in the eyes. A little bit of an advantage here for the youngster as Mathieu van der Poel now comes round the corner. Has he got himself onto the podium? Looks like he could have done. Mathieu van der Poel, early leader, is now in 3rd place. Behind him is Laurens Sweet. Behind him in the black is Tom Meusen. In fact, most of these are in black now with the amount of mud and rubbish they've got all over them. Lars van der Haar not enjoying this today. Just blinking all the time, trying to get the grid out of his eyes. Kevin Powers, so the top places. Wout van Aert, Sven Nys, Mathieu van der Poel, Laurens Sweet, Tom Meusen, Lars van der Haar, Kevin Powers, Toonert. That is the top 8 positions in this race so far. Right, who's going to win? Who do you think is going to take it? Is it going to be the fast twitch muscles of Wout van Aert, the youngster, or is it going to be the 39-year-old rider Sven Nys, who won in Hasselt yesterday? When was the last time he won a World Cup? It's a long, long time. Goes left-hand side. Van Aert takes the right-hand track. He goes first onto that little section. Little bit of a mistake by Van Aert. He pulls the wheel up, pulls his feet out there, and Sven Nys is now able to get right where he wants to be. On the wheel of Wout van Aert. The fans are going absolutely crazy. They've all come in here. They've all had to have all the security checks. They've still come here in their thousands around this Koksijde course. Now it goes out onto this grass section. Mathieu van der Poel is on a little bit of a charge now. 46 seconds his deficit to the leaders. He's not going to come back. Thanks very much to all of you for your tweets, your pictures of where you are right now watching the racing. Some of you enjoying a little light refreshment. Why not? We're in Belgium. The freaks are outside. The beer is flowing and everyone's having a good time. Thanks, Leanne, for your message and for watching. I hope the USA was good to you as we see these two riders tussling it out at the front of the race. Laurens Sweet shoulders the bike. There on the left-hand side in the red and white. Tom Meusen looks round. Lars van der Haar sprinting his way across that sandy section. It's not going to be a podium for him today. Oh, Sven Nys makes a little bit of an error. Has to just right himself. He made the same mistake Wout van Aert made a couple of laps ago. Here's the acceleration now from this young rider as he tries to get rid of Sven Nys. He knows he doesn't want to leave this one to a sprint. Sven Nys makes a mistake. He's got to get back on that bike quickly. Wout van Aert now sprinting his way down the descent. Has he got the measure of Sven Nys? He's got a couple of seconds. That's all he needed. Now we're going to see them through this section. Wout van Aert is sprinting hard onto the little grass track bit. Now he's onto the tarmac. Sven Nys is just calming himself down a little to make a charge at the back wheel of Wout van Aert. He doesn't want to make a mistake along here. He's almost on the barriers. You're absolutely right. Thank you very much for the tweet. The last World Cup of Sven Nys, I was just looking, was in 2012. He won Cross Vegas last year, but it wasn't a World Cup last year. And if we go all the way back, his last win He won in 2012, 2013 season, Koksijde, Roubaix and Houston-Zolder. He really wants this one. It's going to send a huge message to the rest of these riders that Sven Nys is back. He won in Hasselt yesterday. Can he now win the World Cup? Wout van Aert now through this sandy section. Who's going to make the mistake first? Wout van Aert takes his foot out. Look at the eyes of Sven Nys. He's hunting him down. He doesn't want to make any mistake. He's right now where he wants him. He grits his teeth for the first time. Wout van Aert's had to come back from a mechanical. He had a back wheel puncture, just the same as Nicky Harris had in the women's race. They're going now. Wout van Aert looks around. He just grits his teeth as well. He's thinking, how do I beat the 39-year-old rider on this Trek bike behind me? The crowd leaning over. They are absolutely loving watching this. This is so enthralling. I tried to have a little conversation with Sven before the start, but he was so intent on everything he was doing. Normally he'll chat. Today he looked like he was in super focus mode. When I saw him, he was adjusting his saddle. Now they go shoulder to shoulder. Sven Nys tried to get rid of Van Aert and made a mistake. Sorry, Dave, I know Ian's riding for Hargrove Cycles, very good friends of mine. I haven't had a coffee with Pete for a long time, must do that. Here we go, along this little track. And Van Aert going to go down the drop-off now. Sven Nys makes a little mistake that time. Oh, but they both kick the wheel. Right-hand side, the handling skills of these riders is incredible. They just let the bike do what it needs to do, and they right it only when they need to. Now we're into that drop-off through that little muddy section. Not far until the end of this race now. Get yourselves ready. Who is going to win this? Is it going to be Van Aert? Is it going to be Sven Nys? Sven Nys was a long, long way back until he put in a 7:38 lap, the fastest lap we have seen of this duo so far. We're onto the little wood section. Sven Nys now wants the corner, and Wout van Aert is going to the left-hand side of the road. He's looking for the track that he wants. Sven Nys goes on the inside. He wants that one, so he does. He doesn't want to let the youngster go through this corner first. They are going either side of the track now. It's a drag race through the mud. Sven Nys using the power. He has the lead now. Van Aert there. They go round the right-hand corner. Sven Nys now accelerates hard in towards the finish line. Look at the teeth on Sven Nys. He looks around. He's broken the youngster. Sven Nys wins in Koksijde. What an absolutely incredible day in the World Cup. He hasn't won since 2012-2013 season, and he wanted that one so much. Wout van Aert in second place. Well, cyclocross does not get much better than that. What an absolutely incredible finish. Sven Nys wins here in Koksijde. In third place is going to be the world champion, who's going to come round this corner. Mathieu van der Poel returns from injury to get himself back onto the podium. The BKCP Corendon rider working his way along that little section. You have to admire the tenacity of this youngster. He's just had surgery on that knee. Looks around, zips up the world champion's colours, cleans it down, always a pro to the last, and he will finish in third place. He went all the way down to 11th place in this race. Lars van der Aert finishes in fourth place, 112 down. Laurens Sweeck is in fifth place. What an absolutely incredible finish. Tom Meeuwsen looks around. The drag race through the mud was absolutely incredible. Left and right hand side of that channel, and Nys knew that he had to get the right-hand turn, come out onto the tarmac first. Hardly any pressure in the tyres. They can feel the rim when they sprint. but he got it right, didn't he? Thanks for all your tweets. Paul Dewar, I agree. What a great race today. Julian Taramarkats finishes in 10th place, the Swiss rider. Coming round the corner now is Ties van Amerongen. He'll be in 11th place.
Hebben we gekregen met de twee mannen, de jonge garde en de oude garde, in de voorwacht van deze wedstrijd. En uiteindelijk gewonnen.
Next rider to cross the line then will be Tim Merlier of the Vascot Service Golden Palace team. He will be in 12th place at the end of the race. Here's the finish though, look at this. So, Van Aert went to the left-hand side. Sven Nys went to the wheel of him. Then he went to the right-hand side. This is when they went left and right-hand side of the channel. It was a power game. It was a drag race. It was about who got to that corner first. And you can just see every single bit. Van Aert realised that Nys had made that little acceleration. Look at this, out of the saddle. And then it was all about the power. The cannibal from Baal wins in Koksijde. Look at that. How much did that mean? Third place, Mathieu van der Poel. Happy with that on his return. And there is the Sven Nys fan club. He is right back on the top of his game. 2 wins in 2 days. I think that was a thrilling, thrilling finish. What a great race to witness, hey? We're waiting now for the interview with Sven and also for the podium presentation. But here is the result of today. Sven Nys wins in 1 hour, 2 minutes, 39. 4 seconds ahead of Wout van Aert. Mathieu van der Poel in 3rd place. Lars van der Haar in 4th. Sweek in 5th. Moos and Aerts, Pauwels makes up that contingent of Belgian riders. Then we have Corne van Kessel and Julian Taramarkats, the Swiss rider, in 10th place. There's the makeup of the top 20 with another lot of Belgian riders. Marcel Miesen of Germany in 17th. Michael Boros of the Czech Republic in 20th place. Judging by things, Wout van Aert should be the leader of the World Cup. He had 150 points. Sven Nys will close the gap a little bit. Here's the highlights then of today's race. The sun was out, the sprint started, and it was the world champion on his return race, Mathieu van der Poel, who took the early lead, making a few mistakes, but showing no signs of any problems with the knee that has been presenting issues over the last few weeks. At this point, Lars van der Haar was also up there. Way back, though, was Kevin Pauwels. Mathieu van der Poel accelerating hard all the time. Wout van Aert up in 2nd place at this point in the race, but way back was Sven Nys until he put in this 7:38 lap, the fastest lap of the race, to come right back to the leaders. This is the point where he made the junction. It ignited the atmosphere here in Koksijde. when he accelerated over the top of the bridge. So many fans outside my window right now waited to welcome this man onto the podium. He accelerated because Wout van Aert, of course, had the problem with the back tyre. Then he got himself back on the bike, changed bikes onto his white Colnago, and then made his way back into the race and caught Sven Nys again. Interesting that the two riders finished second place today. Nicky Harris and Wout van Aert both had rear wheel punctures at about the same time in the race. This was the point here, Van Aert trying to put Sven Nys on the ropes, but eventually Nys came back, and then it was all about who had the will and the stamina and the strength to go for the finish. Into towards the finish line then. They went shoulder to shoulder, side by side, but on the sprint to the line, it was Sven Nys who cracked Van Aert in the finishing sprint to win here in Koksijde. So the last World Cup win for Sven Nys was back in 2012-13. He, of course, won a World Championship as well. But World Cup, World Championship, slightly different. Here's the standings then, with the rain falling again on the podium presentation. Let's hear from today's winner.
Ja, hij staat hier bij ons. Hij staat hier te blinken, Sven Nys. Sven Nys, first question in English. This is a World Cup victory number 50. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great feeling because it's a victory against the best of the world for the moment. We won so many races on the power and with technique and on fast courses from the beginning of the season until now. And then in a really, really hard race, cold, mud, technical, and I can win with an acceleration in the last 200-300 meters. That's crazy in my last season.
Yeah, your second victory in a row as well.
Yeah, that's something really special because the guys who are on the podium with me, they are not racing yesterday, and it's true. I'm normally better the second day, but it's difficult when the riders are not racing on Saturday. But okay, I'm really happy with this victory. I'm gonna have fun this week with the feeling and the memories of this weekend. It's unbelievable.
Ja, unbelievable, onbegrijpelijk zeg je nog heel snel een vraagje in het Nederlands. Ik heb je het zelden zo zien uitschreeuwen toen je over de streep kwam. Dat was precies jouw allereerste overwinning.
Ja, maar het is ongelooflijk die beleving van het publiek en die adrenaline die boven komt als je met de beste renner van het moment in duel kunt gaan. Op een moment waar hij ook vorig jaar eigenlijk de dominantie in handen nam, hier in Koksijde. En het dan nu in mijn laatste jaren nog zo kunnen afmaken in een rechtstreeks duel. Puur op de kracht eigenlijk, in de finale. Nadat ik gisteren ook al gewonnen had. Eigenlijk zijn hier gewoon geen woorden voor en dit is het orgelpunt op mijn carrière.
Geniet ervan, daar op het podium. Dankjewel, Sven Nys.
Fantastic performance by Sven Nys today. There's his fan club. As we wait now for the podium presentation.
De spannende foto's uiteraard niet te vergeten. En dan is het wachten op de rond die dan gaat komen.
The rain is falling. Commemorating 50 wins for Sven.
Dat kan niet zijn fetische wereldbekers. Mogen we dat dan ook nog hier?
So his 50th, World Cup win is about to be crowned here on the podium. Onto the podium then, the top three in today's race.
Ziezo, dames en heren, ceremonie protocolair. Wereldbekermanche Vlaamse Duinencross Koksijde. Op de derde plaats, uw daverend applaus voor wereldkampioen Mathieu van der Poel. De fles en de bloemen, Jan Duimelt, de voorzitter van het organisatiecomité, die daar de fles overhandigt met jubilair. En nu applaus voor de plaats 3, Mathieu van der Poel. Op de tweede plaats, deuxième place, second place.
Mathieu van der Poel then in third place. Wout van Aert in second place today.
Voor hem de fles van de schepen en de bloemen door onze mis overhandigd. En de trofee natuurlijk niet te vergeten. En ook de felicitaties voor Mathieu en voor Sven. En de bloemen en de zonen voor plaats 2, Wout van Aert. En dan wil ik een applaus horen. Tot in Nieuwpoort moet ze horen. Winnaar van deze Vlaamse Duinencross 2015, Sven Nys!
Sven Nys wins his 50th World Cup. And look what it means to the fans. And here's the national anthem. Sven Nys wins here in Koksijde. What a fantastic day we've had. Well, he's made a lot of fans extremely happy today with that performance. They've had to work hard to get here to watch this race, but it was very well worth it in the end, without any shadow of a doubt. Of course, we have the normally the white jersey, the best young rider jersey to, sorry, the best young rider, the World Cup leaders jersey to present. But we know that that's going to be Wout van Aert who will be leading the World Cup. Here he is. So he's presented and he'll wear that in the next round of the World Cup, which will be coming up very soon. Thank you to all of you for all your messages. Thanks for joining me on Twitter. Thanks for all your comments. Bye for now.
Ja, voilà. Ja, maar het is echt doe maar.
En